Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss The Dark Knight, starring Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Heath Ledger, Aaron Eckhart, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Morgan Freeman, and Gary Oldman, and directed by Christopher Nolan. Now, before I get into this review, let me just tell you how dead excited I was when this movie was coming out. I was too excited at a point where I couldn't wait to see how the Joker was, and being played by Heath Ledger, who died like 6 months before the movie ever came out, maybe 7, something like that. And he was never able to finish. He finished the movie, but he didn't end up seeing his performance. So, how should I get started on this review? Well, the old-fashioned way. That bank heist in the opening scene was so spectacular that I was in the edge of my seat. Like, this movie is going to happen. Like, what's going to happen throughout this whole movie, just spectacular. Cillian Murphy returns as Dr. Crane, aka the Scarecrow, and whenever we see him, we never see him throughout the movie because, again, like what happened in the last movie, or the last scene, but it doesn't mean because we're better off without the Scarecrow. I again hate Batman's voice. I hate that voice in this movie. Just hate it. It gets to a point where it gets really annoying, but I do like Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne because he's got the character of Bruce Wayne. We get introduced to the new district attorney, Harvey Dent, played by Aaron Eckhart, who I've seen in other films too, who I like in other films and in here as well. He's got the looks of Harvey Dent, I will not lie to you there. Gary Oldman returns as Lieutenant Gordon, aka Commissioner Gordon, later on in the film. Is back and is a good character like the last time. I still love Morgan Freeman's Lucius Fox presence in this movie as the general manager or something like that of Wayne Enterprises. Instead of Katie Holmes coming back, we got, as Rachel Dawes, we got Maggie Gyllenhaal switching for her, and is a better character than it was as Katie Holmes. The line that Harvey says, "You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain," there's a point at the end that I'll probably get there when I get there, but we'll see how that ends up. Heath Ledger's Oscar-winning performance as the Joker is a brilliant performance by Mr. Ledger. Let's hear it for him really quickly. It's a shame he's dead now, but because I liked him as an actor in other movies as well as here. He's a much better villain than Ra's al Ghul from the last film, and Bane in the third movie, which I'll get to. When we get introduced to him, in the mom meeting scene, he sticks a pencil in some guy's eye. I was like, ouch, that's gotta hit. Is he always changing up? And I got a question. Is he always changing up the story of how he tells about the scars on the side of his lips, like right here? Like, because he's got different versions of the story. Batman flying around in Hong Kong and getting Lau, who is the criminal partner of Wayne and a criminal that squeals, as the Joker says earlier in the film, was rather a good chase for Batman to get Lau back into Gotham. The scene where Batman copycat named Brian, who I guess we do have a name for one of them, falls down in front of Dent and a window was actually a scary moment in the film, and the Joker is really unpredictable. Again, this is a great performance by Mr. Ledger. I do like the first encounter and fight between Batman and the Joker because it's badass, you know? Gordon fakes his own death when he gets shot by the Joker, of course, at Commissioner Loeb's funeral, and was actually sad when he died but I'll get how he comes back later on in the film. Harvey gets into action as well as Batman to find out who's the next target for the Joker's murder, and Batman tries to turn himself into the custody until Harvey Dent pretends to be Batman. We move on to a spectacular chase. Let's see how this chase goes. Woo. Gordon is back from the dead and becomes commissioner. As the Joker claps for Gordon's promotion was a pretty funny moment throughout the whole movie. And this is the only one for this movie that's ever got a comedy out of it, but it's more like a serious movie, so what are you gonna do? The interrogation scene between Batman and the Joker was an intense, and the way Batman throws the Joker on the mirror and beats him up, and the Joker was kind of beats up the Joker. That scene was kind of brutal and an intense scene for kids to be watching. Maybe kids under the age of 10, in my personal opinion. It was sad that Rachel dies and Harvey becomes Harvey Two-Face Dent, as we see him and as we saw him in the comic books. A villain. When this movie was coming out in 2008, in the summer, we don't know what Two-Face looked like. But when I first saw this, and we see him as the Two-Face, it was pretty horrifying, actually. And where like his one face is his actual face, and the other side is like his face is burned, because it's that creepy, you know. The scene with the Joker and Harvey Two-Face Dent, or I should call him Harvey Two-Face, what am I saying, where the Joker disguises himself as a woman nurse, is pretty clever, and the Joker talks about plans like, is Harvey Two-Face going to kill the Joker? And he lets the Joker blow up the hospital Dent was in. That was a pretty big explosion of the Joker walking behind the blast. That's when Harvey Two-Face becomes a killer in a sad way. I guess it was in the comics, so I can't really explain it any further. The final fight between Batman and the Joker, and the fight scenes before, is really intense and fantastic final battle. Batman kills Harvey Two-Face after a little talking was a little not too Batman. And Batman has to take the fall and let Harvey be the hero, and Batman is the villain. When I first saw this, I was confused on why Batman's betrayal, but watching it dozens of times, it made sense, just to be clear. Guess what time it is right now? Oh, it's time for the rating. Oh, that was a bad joke. I'm sorry about that. I'm turning into the Joker now. I'll give this movie a 8.8 out of 10. This is a phenomenal movie, and I love Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker. This and Mark Hamill's Joker is half and half with probably with me. This may be the best Batman film yet to date. So I'll be back next week with Inception by Christopher Nolan. And until next time, see you later.